Hey, I'm Shane Edwards, based here at Karma Sound Studios. I'm a record producer, and Siri says I can go ahead. Yeah, I'm a producer, engineer, sound engineer. I love mixing, I love mastering, tracking all parts of anything to do with sound. About 20 years ago, I used to play in a band and I would write songs and record them for myself or, just for my band. And then one day my friend who had a rehearsal studio said, you should set up a studio and do this. And I'm like, no, I just want to write songs for my band. And then one day I was at a normal job and I went, you know what, let's try. I play guitar, I play drums, still learning a bit of keyboard, a little bit of singing. I don't like singing, but I can sing a bit. Well, I was approached by Karma. I came here, would have been in 2012, with a band called Heroes for Hire. And it wasn't too long after that, I came back again with a band called Hellions from Australia. And that's when I got to know everybody. By January 2014, I was here. I love recording and mixing equally. I love setting up, capturing sounds, getting things sounding great at the source. But I also love, finishing the product and bringing it to life, through mixing. I try to use different things. I always like experimenting and trying things I haven't tried before. I used to always use 421s on toms, and I've recently changed to Telefunken M80s on toms. I think the transformer and the rejection, it's really cool. On the snare, I've tried so many different things, with 414s and the combination of a dynamic and a condenser mic, but I just keep coming back to an SM57, top and bottom. Overheads I always go for 414s, and the rooms, it depends on what's available and what sound. If I'm after a vintage sound, I'll use Cole's 4038s. Hi-hat mic, Sheps, all day, or an SM7B. SM7B is probably my favorite mic, actually. It's the most versatile. I can use it on anything. Oh, kick. After trying a lot of different things, my favorite of all time is an AKG D112. The second would be a Telefunken M82. Generally, I'll use that on the outside, or an RE20 on the outside. Yes and no. A lot of I have some go-to things. If I do guitars, I will always use an API. But I love the sound of Neve on a snare and drums. I like Millennia's, super transparent, and I love those on cymbals. Yeah, API on everything else, to be honest. Absolutely. I record with a lot of compression, anything it needs. So I like to print when I'm recording, because it saves a lot of time later. If you record it in all dry and, small and safe, you're going to have a safe recording. But if you record it in hard and dangerous, you're going to have an edgy recording. That's my motto. Yeah, for instance, overheads, what I'll do is, I'll measure to the snare. So I'd get a mic cable and stick it in the middle of the snare and find the position. It doesn't matter what they look like, it's what they sound like. Everything I record, I listen first. Even with the singer, when they're singing, I say, just sing on your own, and I'll get this far away from their face and listening to their mouth and up and down, as they sing. And that's where I'll put the microphone. I try to allow a lot of headroom where possible, because that's technically correct, but sometimes I won't be technically correct. Generally, I use a K14 scale, and I would like the peaks to come in at +6. other times where that's just too low to get the sweet spot of a preamp or a particular piece of gear. But there's definitely gain structure is the most fundamentally important thing I find in recording.